I'm tired.
Yeah. All right, guys, welcome back to the Spin Zone podcast with me, Cake Eater. We also got Chad and Vile, and actually today we have a special guest because Martine is unable to come due to scheduling conflicts. We got second place winner of this weekend's 2025 Minnesota Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Wacko Carnival. How are you doing there, sir?
I'm doing
Woo!
good. How about you?
Not too bad. And Chad, Vile, how are you guys doing today?
I'm doing great. Vile's muted, so let's see what he has to say after he remembers to unmute himself.
I am muted. You're right. I just wanted to say I hate it when I can't come due to scheduling conflicts. Cake, you got to get a girl with open availability, okay?
Oh, anyway, it's gonna be another great episode. We actually had someone in our inbox that just actually messaged me and asked he wants to be called Gunny T. So this episode is kind of dedicated to him. He wants some ideas.
Gunny!
Gunny T. Shout out to him.
Woo!
The idea for a show would be to have you guys explain Beyblade's basic to me, advise me on some of my first purchases, and answer questions, especially with Christmas right around the corner. So, Gunny T, this episode is dedicated for you. It's going to be a good one. So, for you guys, what would a good purchase be for really any first time Beyblade person? We kind of just go one at a time. So, Chad, go for it, buddy.
Listen, I'm going to start us off with the easiest one to mention. The one that makes the most sense, comes with the best parts and parts usage. Shark scale set. I mean, it comes with 2 usable Beyblades right off the goddamn bat. You get that, and you're like 1 Beyblade away from having a ready to go set for tournaments. Like, that's a no brainer.
Yeah, absolutely. And Chad, question for you, sir. Where can you get that shark scale set?
Well, you can get the Shark Set Scale and more from baysinbricks.com using the code SPINZONE. That's SPINZONE at baysinbricks.com for 7% off your order. You can use that twice per account.
Absolutely. So, the sponsorship of this episode is baysinbricks.com. So, for any of these bays and ideas that we do kind of pitch to you guys today, make sure to go to baysinbricks.com. Use code SPINZONE at checkout for 7% off your final purchase. And majority of the bays on baysinbricks.com have a lot of free shipping, so it definitely works out at the end of the day. So baysinbricks.com, code word SPINZONE. Wacko, what would your purchase be for any first time Beyblader?
The obvious one's the green wizard rod booster. 3 usable parts. You get that.
Solid.
It's right out the bag. Shark scale deck set, obviously. A little bit of a niche one that not too many people mention. The Hasbro 2-pack with Sting Unicorn and Bite Croc is actually pretty good value. It's got the Bite Croc blade 360 low flat, pretty usable. And then Sting Unicorn 460 point. 460 is not ideal, but Sting Unicorn and point are still very usable. And at Hasbro 2-pack prices, if you find it in store, it's a good pickup.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, those are pretty decent.
4.6 is usable.
It's usable.
You know what the best thing is? When you find that 2-pack that Wacko just talked about on clearance at Ross Dress for Less for $4.99.
There you go.
Yeah,
I was actually
that's 1,000%.
Yeah,
that's a real thing.
I'm actually
for anyone
about to go hit up mine tomorrow and see what they have at mine.
Yeah, for viewers who don't know, if you guys have Ross Dress for Less, it's like a TJ Maxx type of place near you. There have been multiple reports from all over the country. I think even Egg has found 1 or 2 here in Minnesota now at this point. They have some of the older series of Hasbro boosters for $2.99 a piece, and they have some of the first set of like 2-packs with like the Tyranno beat that was just talked about for $4.99. So if you have a Ross near you, go check it out. You might find something cool for real cheap.
Yeah, for $3 for at least decent bays would.
Well, I like that 2-pack for $4.99. I mean, that's what's up.
Can't beat
Yeah,
that.
so $3 to $5 for decent bays, so you can get a whole collection for like $20.
Yeah, so check out your Ross Dress for Less. As for my suggestion, for first purchase, I agree with Chad. The Shark Scale deck set's really cool. The reason I wouldn't suggest that is because most first-time bladers are probably not going to be looking at buying imports because they probably don't even know where to go for that.
That's fair.
And Wacko's suggestion is objectively the best. I think one of the major YouTube streamers even did a video, and that was ranked like #1, the Green Wizard Rod. My problem with that is if you are just starting and you are playing with your friends, if that's your first purchase, they might not want to play very long.
Hey, that's a fair point. It's a fair point.
Yeah.
What I think is real good and solid is if you can find the drop attack stadium for lower than the $40 to $50 MSRP, I think that's a pretty good pickup. I believe right now it's $30 on Amazon at the moment, but it's gone all the way down to I think $18.49 at different points. Hover Wyvern is just a beast. I mean, there's no way around that. And if you want to play attack base competitively, you need a low rush. I mean, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
And I think what do you call it? Impact Drake also has a 960 on it, so that's another solid piece. I think it's fun, and it does give you a stadium to mess around in. Yes, we all know people should buy the TT stadium, but brand new players probably aren't dropping $50 off the rip on just a stadium, right?
Very true.
So it gives you 2 solid bays. It gives you something to play around in until you're ready to upgrade to the big boy stadium. I think it's a good purchase.
Yeah, and majority of these bays, like the Green Wizard Rod and everything else, are all over the place. You might be able to find them at Walmart. You might be able to find them at Target, but try to avoid Amazon unless it's from the actual Beyblade, Hasbro, or TT official Amazon site. That's just me personally.
That literally just came up today in the Discord. I don't know if you guys have looked at the general chat, but we had a brand new blader from Minnesota jump into the Discord today. He had found the link on the Facebook group to the Discord, and he had bought some things on Amazon, and now he did buy, from what it sounds like, official Beyblade products. But that was one of the first things that Acuna had brought up was when you are shopping on Amazon, make sure you're being a little bit careful. If you see that 8 or 12 pack with the case, that's don't buy that. Yeah,
at least here in Minnesota, we've had several occurrences of that. Just new bladers, mom's buying that because it's the cheapest way out, and it comes with just a box full of miscellaneous, not real Beyblades, and they think that it's the real deal. But then when they come to an official Beyblade event, just like Kraken, come to find out that they're not. So then they got to try to find new ones, which our community is awesome, and people just lend bays over to them, which is very, very cool. So try to avoid, Egg for sure.
Egg does a really good job with that. Just make sure you're buying legitimate products. I mean, that's the most important thing.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Exactly.
For me, it would definitely probably be the Phoenix Wing with the red string launcher right off the rip. If you can find one of those, it's a good bay. It used to be meta, and it decent and still runs pretty decent. Used to be. I mean, yeah, you don't really see Phoenix Wing really topping really anymore. It still makes its occurrences every once in a while, but not as much as it was, or not that what it is now.
It's been falling off. It did surprisingly well at the tournament last weekend. I saw a couple of it.
Yeah, there was a couple of them. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think if you're experienced and skilled blader, you can still make Phoenix Wing work. I don't think it's quite Shark Scale or Hover Wyvern, but I still think it's solid. I think Calavia did pretty well with it. I remember specifically.
Yeah, absolutely. Then also, if you can find a rock golem is also another good bay to
That's what I was about to say.
Hey, that's my
Rock
boy.
Golem 160 under needle, the MVP, the champ
Yeah,
of 160 parts.
and then also
I did see a fair amount of rock golems this past weekend too.
Yeah.
Now, maybe not quite the placement that the players who use them would have liked to see, but I did see a lot of people still trying to use rock golem.
Right. And then also another good little easy pickup would probably, if you cannot find Wizard Rod, definitely try to find a Silver Wolf. Silver Wolf is just another good bay just to have in your deck.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so three pretty decently easily findable bays. Again, Walmart has them, Target. You might even find some over at GameStop, and if you are a Game Plus member or whatever they call it, you get $5 off per month, so that it adds up. So definitely take advantage of that.
Yeah, I mean that's very true. The pro members at GameStop, yeah, they do get the $5 off coupon once a month, and I believe they also get like 5% off all Beyblades in general. And then sometimes GameStop has pro member only specials where you can like buy one get one 50% off, buy two get one free, stuff like that. So worth paying attention to if you're a pro member at GameStop. The last thing I want to say about this, guys, if you're at Target, okay, and you're trying to find some of these newer, more interesting bays like the Green Wizard Rod, like the Rock Golem, if you're like me and you like Crimson Garuda, which I think is a really cool bay, and you don't see them in the normal Beyblade section, keep looking. A lot of that newer stuff at Target right now is in a display, like a big cardboard display that's kind of hung kind of on the corner of an aisle. So be aware of that.
Yeah, I went to Target a couple days ago Walmart yesterday, and it was the same thing. They had just aisle normally right next, like the normal boys, like wrestling figures and other stuff like that. Then also they had a separate display of the dual packs, which, so if you can't, like Vile said, if you cannot find them in an aisle, just look at the ends of them. You might be able to find something.
Speaking of product, Cake, that's finally made its way here to Minnesota. I did finally find the Red Hulk and Captain America dual pack.
Oh, there you go.
Very nice.
This right, my boy. This right, my boy.
Yeah, I tried to find that yesterday, but all I found was just a Spider-Man and the Venom pack, so unable to find the Red Hulk, but hopefully one day I can find one.
Yeah, it's weird. The only two stores that I saw that had it were the one like 5 minutes from my house up here in St. Cloud, and then another one kind of out in the country about 30 minutes to the west of me, over in Princeton.
Wow.
Which is weird that you'd see them kind of up in those areas, but not anywhere in the Twin Cities yet. Like that's a little different. But usually once they make their way, because there's the same way, like up in St. Cloud, we got if you guys remember that super cool double pack with the yellow Wizard Rod and the blue Dran Buster, where they had both of them like shrink wrapped together for $10. Those were showing up here before they came to the cities. But the plus side is that once they showed up here, within the week they were also in the cities. So maybe just kind of start keeping your eyes out down in the cities. You might be able to find that 2-pack with the Red Hulk and the Captain America somewhat soon.
Yeah, hopefully. So definitely try to keep my eyes on those as well, and hopefully I can definitely try to pick one of those as well, because again, that's the collaborations aren't really decently good, but if you can get them for cheap, those are just another good product to really start, because they're just remolded of pretty decent bays as is. So if you can
mean like when you found the Star Wars ones at Target for $7.50? Yeah, remember that?
I picked both of those up all day.
Yeah, those are just warming the shelves over in Target.
I mean,
then
you
also unless they go down to $7.50, then Cake's buying them all. So
true.
Yeah, then I also got the Samurai Saber for like $7 too. So
that was nuts.
Yeah, that was a great find. Samurai Saber is, in my opinion, like a B tier, and then also comes with a good launch or a winder launcher with a good grip launcher. So definitely, if you can find a samurai saber for decently priced, not $24 good, but if you can find them, probably $15 to $10 or maybe even less. It personally, that's one I
I
would
think
pick one up.
15. I think 15 and under is fine. I mean, the
Mhm.
level bit's really important, and if you're not going to start importing right away, then the best way to get the level bit is from that set, right? So
Yeah. Yes.
I
These
think
get
that's the
misplaced
only way to get the
levels.
level bit here in America right now. Like,
It is
right?
for
Yeah.
now, yes.
Is it okay?
Yeah, because the only thing that comes in America is the Saber Samurai launcher kit or whatever.
Mhm.
In Japan, it's obviously in their version of that, but they also have it with the Tyranno Roar that comes in the Shark Scale set. But not everyone's going to buy one of those right off the rip. So
Yeah.
Fair enough.
There is one that hasn't been mentioned yet that I want to give a little bit of a shout out to because it can still do pretty good, and that's our old Cobalt
Oh,
Dragoon set.
yes.
Okay.
Honestly,
fair.
that's yeah. The last time I checked, those are actually $10 on Amazon through the official.
I mean, you get a blue left spin launcher, which I don't know, with a certain Beyblade releasing soon, that might be worth picking up. Some kind of left launcher at the very least.
Yeah, I
Well, that
definitely.
new one's going to come with a left winder launcher with that
Mhm.
dope sword ripcord. But some people do prefer
Yes,
string launchers. So I mean, that's a point too, you know. So
exactly. Especially if you want a more stamina-driven slash spin steel version of the Beyblade instead of like straight up like ripping as hard as you can for maximum power.
Yeah, I think for a Dragoon, having the string launcher is actually pretty ideal. Again, that was another bait
But
that kind of came up
exactly.
this past weekend quite a bit. And normal people, just a kind of tip for all you guys, Dragoon is not one of those kind of bays that you just want to rip it and let it go. It's just let it do its thing. Just shoot it as decently as possible, but just don't rip the damn thing.
yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
it was pretty like Field Co. I believe went undefeated all day in their path to winning the event, and they had used Cobalt Dragoon the whole day. Like I don't think they changed their deck once all day, and they were actually using a left winder with it, which is a little uncommon just because of the lack of availability of left
Yeah.
winders here in America right now.
Yeah.
But Field Co. I mean, just killed it with that Cobalt Dragoon. Since this episode is set up at new buyers of Beyblades, this is kind of important. If you are going to try to run Cobalt Dragoon, I some people might disagree with me, but I feel like you have to get either the Tide Whale to get the Elevate, or you have to get the Saber Samurai to get the level. I think those two bits are kind of what you run on it, and if you're running anything else on it, you're kind of wrong. Like I think that's kind of objective at this point.
I agree.
Yeah.
I was just thinking of
I
bringing
mean,
up the Hasbro Whale booster as another one. It's got two good parts. 580 isn't great, but Elevate and Whale are both good.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
was just
Oh
about
yeah.
to say, AJ uses Whale a lot, and he absolutely loves running that thing. I think he has it on Kick currently, but yeah, he's been I mean, it's Whale. You can run it as a upper attacker. You can run it as a downward smasher. It works. It just works.
Well,
Yeah.
it's nice that Whale's a little bit more available now. Amazon, I believe, finally started placing a 3 per order like quantity limit on Whale Waves from their site. So it comes up on there a little more often than it used to, where I feel like what was happening was these larger vendors were buying the entire stock out and then upcharging on their own sites or on eBay or wherever.
Yeah.
So Amazon kind of started limiting it to 3 per customer, and that seems to have calmed down the market for that a little bit.
All right, guys. So another question is, what are some useful extras to buy? So a deck box, grips, just etc. stuff. So Vile, if you want to kind of start off with that one.
So, I mean, first off, I think it's incredibly important to have a deck box. I know we still have some players locally who don't use them, and I'm not going to chastise anyone for not wanting to spend money on them. I get it. It's not exciting to spend, but some of these deck boxes can get spendy. I mean, $20, $30 some of the time for something that's not a Beyblade. I understand how new players might be like, or even more experienced players that don't have giant budgets might be like, But I think a deck box is very important for tournament play. I do feel like it helps keep your base secure. It makes things easy for you, easy for the judge, easy to kind of keep your order secret from your opponent. I think they are important. A launcher grip is another must-have, in my opinion. I know some people rip without grips. I have never seen a top-end player just use a winder launcher by itself without a grip on it. I wouldn't suggest that. You can obviously get the official Takara Tomy grips if you want to go that route, but there's a lot of 3D printed options that in some cases I think are even better, and they're all over the place. You can buy them locally from some of our 3D printers. You can buy them online at Etsy if that's more your thing. So those are two really important things. The last one I'll say, and Wayward posted a picture of this. He had picked up a couple from Egg, I believe, recently, is if you want to keep your rip cords straight and undamaged during transport, those cool 3D printed ripcord holders, they keep your ripcord safe. It's not going to rub around in your bag when you're bringing it places. And also it helps keep it straight, where we know if you leave the winder ripcord sitting out unattended, they start to bend and things like that. You don't want that.
Right.
So,
yeah.
So those are the accessories I like. You guys obviously feel free to follow up with whatever you think.
Yeah, I've got the
so many
perfect follow-up.
Yeah, there are just so many people 3D printing so many things nowadays. But yeah, Chad, if you want to go ahead then.
To piggyback off of one thing Vile said, guys, if you don't want to get like a fancy 3D printed deck box or you can't afford anything that nice, there have been tons of people on the Reddit, in fact, who have been talking about you can get like these little like plastic cartons that normally hold like 3 eggs. They hold the Beyblades perfectly fine, and they're like $10 at most.
Yeah.
Yeah, what Chad's saying is totally true. I think Oz does this, and I think Baytastic also does this. They've made boxes out of cardboard. So that's something you can do. I've also seen, I believe Gasp does this. He uses an old glasses case.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it works.
And when I first joined, I used a phone case that I put some cardboard in, not like the case that you buy the phone out of. I shoved some cardboard in there to divide it. You can make anything into a deck box if you try.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, Wacko, you actually use the actual Beyblade like plastic, or is it kind of paper or deck box?
I did have the official one for a while. I guess now that I have this one, I'm not using it anymore, but
yeah, first off, that deck box that you won is so sick. Like the garage door kind of, it's so cool. The garage door kind of, it's so neat.
3 slots in there.
So what I love about Wacko's deck box, and shout out to Acuna for I feel like finding the deck box on Etsy that objectively is going to work best for what we do here in Minnesota. Well, I love some of the deck boxes I've seen from Egg. I love some of the deck boxes I've seen from AJ. The problem with those two deck boxes sometimes is if you're trying to use one of the white trays, and if you play in events here in Minnesota, you know what I'm talking about. Those boxes are kind of awkward in there. The larger one, like Chad has, that flips open, it doesn't quite sit right in there. And the smaller one that does sit right in there, that Egg prints, the problem is that you have to pull the thing all the way out, and there's not enough space in the white container to do that. It becomes awkward. You're almost always just setting the thing on top or putting it to the side. The one that Wacko won this past weekend, that lid just stays with the box the whole time. You just roll it onto the bottom. It fits perfectly in those trays. It's objectively one of the best deck boxes I've ever seen, specifically for how we play here in Minnesota. I love it.
Yeah, I definitely might have to pick me up one of those. It's very slick looking. But yeah, Wacko, if you want to kind of go off some extras that you can think about.
I had one more thing.
My bad. Okay, never mind, Wacko. Chad,
because I'm going to bring up something that not many people recognize is something good to have for Beyblades, but if anyone in the Minnesota scene knows, you know what tool I'm about to bring up. The beautiful tri-wing screwdriver. This thing is the 2.5 by 50 millimeter, and this thing has been clutch for fixing people's ratchets because let's be honest, those Beyblade ratchets wear out after a while. Or sometimes you get one from a friend and one of the prongs are missing. I don't know, just Just mentioning that. Don't hide Cake. You know what you did. For those who don't know, Cake here was wonderful and got me the full green wizard rod pretty recently. And we all noticed here, at least in the Minnesota scene, that my 160 was acting really weird. Like the like the stamina bits were just like falling out. And as it turns out, the reason for it is, and we'll grab this as like a show. The Beyblade normally has these two little like teeth that hold the bits into place. His was missing one of these. Like the entire like the inner structure like just popped right out, like it broke off. So my guess is it happened during transportation. It happens. These things aren't built to last.
No.
Might have got caught on something. Who knows? But when stuff like that happens, these come in clutch, or as a lot of people in here can mention, we've had a lot of people have problems with their ratchets were like super loose, and just using this to tighten up the screws or even just replace the ratchet to give it a new inner piece to make it a little more tight of a fit, it works.
It does.
Now, the caveat is obviously Takara says this can ruin the Beyblade, and this can ruin the ratchets if you're not careful. And I can confirm, I currently have a 560 ratchet in the garbage because as I was putting the screw in, it stripped the entire inner plastic wall.
Ooh.
Meaning, like the screw is now permanently stuck in there, and it's loose. So just be careful,
580?
560.
I mean, it could
that's a rough loss, brother.
I mean, it could be worse.
I was able to make a new one.
Oh, I'm not saying that it's. Yeah, I'm not saying that they're awful. I'm just saying it could be like a more dominant ratchet than just a 580. But yeah, 580 is decent. I mean, I like it.
No, 560.
560. I don't know why I keep saying 560. 560 is good.
I mean, I still got these two on hand. Plus, I can always like scrap other Beyblade parts that I'm not using to make more if I really need to, or obviously I can buy more.
Yeah,
but
that's fair.
The tri-wing screwdriver has been an absolute clutch unit, not only for fixing parts, but also some people like myself love color matching Beyblades. And I mean, if you do it right, you get some magnificent looking, just beautiful looking combos. So
that's fair.
It gives you, I call it the slight morale boost, because when you have parts that look really good and you like the way your Beyblade looks, it gives you a little bit of a confident boost going in and being like, yeah, my Beyblade looks awesome. I can't wait to destroy these people with it.
All right, Wacko, what do you think? What are your must-have accessories?
You know what? Mine kind of piggybacks off the fashion part, because I feel like we've discussed a lot of the actual useful things. So I'm just going to show off some of the cool stuff that Etsy sellers are making these days. I'm going to roll away and grab some stuff.
Oh, he's rolling.
Uh-oh.
They see him rolling. They hating. Patrolling and trying to catch Wacko riding dirty.
They try to catch him riding dirty. They try to catch him riding dirty.
Of cool custom sticker designs that sellers on Etsy will make.
Oh, yeah.
There's custom launcher grips that are out there that, if you like to hold your launcher horizontally like I do, can really level up your play. It's a bit of a more ergonomic option.
And it's it's slick looking too.
It is. It does look nice.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ever don't like the actual Tucker Tell Me grip, there's other options out there that will really help you out.
There's so many of them.
So Wacko, since you're talking right now, I wanted to ask you something. Okay, so we're gonna role play here. I'm gonna pretend I'm a brand new Beyblader. Okay. All right. So Wacko, I'm brand new at Beyblade, and this last weekend I went out on Amazon and Bays and Bricks and Target and wherever else and spent like $500 on Beyblades. Now I have a lot of Beyblades. What's a good way for me to bring all of my Beyblades to stores, my friend's house, wherever?
Honestly, I'm probably not the best person to ask because my storage solution is terrible. because I like to keep all my stuff in stock combos. But if you're like me and want to keep everything in its stock combo all the time, Walmart has these little cases, and Beyblades will
Yeah.
fit in there perfectly.
Yeah.
And those are really nice
Shout
for
out to
that.
Cake for mine, but yeah, having a nice little storage case to put everything in is just, it's the best.
Yeah. People bring toolboxes just full of stuff. Just literally any kind of individually separated storage container definitely works for carrying around Beyblades. If you want to do what Wacko does and keep them per stock combo, or if you want to split them up per whatever they are, like attack bits or just bits in general, or for ratchets, if you want to keep all the threes together, keep all the fours, or keep all the 60s and the 70s all together. There's so many. There's no right way or wrong way of storing your product.
Yeah, I mean, Cake, I'll agree. There's no objectively right or wrong way, but what I will say is if you like to keep bays put together, whether in stock combos or the combos you've come up with yourself, Wacko's way of doing it with the fishing tackle trays from Walmart, Cabela's, wherever you want to get them. They're really good for storing full put together Beyblades. And if you're more like Chad and you're happy to keep all the parts kind of separate, I do think a lot of these, kind of cool deluxe type of toolboxes or tool trays you'd find at Lowe's or Home Depot or Menards are kind of the way to go for that. Obviously, there are plenty of other options out there. I'm just thinking about options that take up the least amount of space, store the most amount of Beyblades, and keep things organized in a way that's going to make sense to the average end user.
Yeah, like people bring like their backpacks. People just bring their carrying whatever they are. As personally, as long as you can bring it from point A to point B with nothing getting broken,
That's all that matters.
that's really all what matters. Yep. Absolutely. Like I know some people bring other stuff in just like a carrying bag or a backpack. It doesn't matter. Just bring it from point A to point B. There's again no really wrong way. There's no really right way of carrying your stuff because end of the day it's your stuff. So for me, yeah, having grips on your launchers. First off, get rid of the protos. You don't need those. Just toss those in the garbage. So yeah, that one, like Vile has right now. Just throw that in the garbage. You don't need protos. No one ever needs protos. Their strings are so short. Like you don't get really anything off the rip unless you're like the world's strongest man and you can rip it, but they're just so tiny.
Yeah, the ripcords are much shorter, and objectively, the proto launcher, it just doesn't. The internal workings of it just don't allow for as strong of a launch.
Yeah, it just doesn't. So, getting a winder launcher, either from just a winder launcher in itself, or getting a grip launcher in itself. There are several. There are the Samurai Saber launcher, grip launcher that you can get, or there's also the what's the other one? The red one.
The hold launcher?
Yeah,
the one he's got.
Yeah. That's from the Excalibur.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. Yeah, the Excalibur, which again, those go off of preference. If you want a winder launcher, if you want the string launcher, get the grip launcher. Yeah, personally, I like to have something with a grip. And in America, having one of these is not really necessary. But if you want to have a winder launcher, get the Battle Pass with it because I see a lot of people using the Battle Pass as a grip as well. I don't know why you're using that as like a fish, but
well, let me say this: it's swimming upstream, but I wouldn't call it a fish. If you know, you know.
Alrighty, okay.
So it's a salmon.
So I have. Okay. I do have another one that is not really necessary, but for some people they find it useful. And
go ahead, then I'll finish up mine.
All right. a skin at the end of the day. It's going to get sore after a while, or at least it's going to start to chafe a little. This helps to prevent it. It's again, it's dumb, it's stupid. This is literally a winter glove that I cut the fingers off of for shits and giggles as a kid. But it works really good for this, and like I found I can even, weirdly enough, I can grip it like that, and it holds pretty good, so I can just yank it right out. It works.
Yeah, I think gloves are important. I wear gloves all the time. The other thing I'll say I think help with gloves, like gloves make it a little bit easier. And I'm not saying it still can't hurt or still can't be annoying, but I do think gloves objectively make it easier to pick up your Beyblade while it's still moving in the arena.
Exactly.
Yes. So, for instance, again, we're kind of talking to first-time people. So, if the bay hits like the little ring of the shell going into the arena, or if it bursts right off of impact, or anything that doesn't allow like a full, complete play of the game, you gotta stop both the bays and hopefully start right off the rip. And having a glove on definitely cuts off from getting your hand all cut up and everything.
Thanks, Rico.
Jeez.
Oh man.
Poor Rico lost his Silver Wolf and a Wizard Rod in the same event.
That was a rough day for him, but he
brutal.
won.
That's brutal.
And a rough day for his hand and a rough day for my hand. So it's something.
So one extra for me would actually be just a little scale. Because if you...
Oh, yes.
And those are like $10 or something on Amazon. And having a scale, yeah. Yours is different. I like yours.
Gotta have a scale.
Yeah. And mine is just a little pocket scale, just to kind of see like the weight differences between, because not all bays, even of the same bay, weigh the same. It could be, it could weigh like 0.5 grams less or 0.3 grams more or anywhere in between. So if you want like a heavier bay, put it on the heavier bay. But how am I supposed to know which one's heavier? Just get one of the little pocket scales. It helps.
Yeah, I mean, you can buy them on Amazon. Obviously, if you partake of the green, you will know local places to buy them from. So, yeah, they're all over the place. I mean, they're just everywhere. It's easy to get one. They're very useful. I mean, it just came up this past weekend. Wayward was buying a red metal coat Tyranno beat blade for me, and I had brought two different options, and one of them weighed like 0.5 or 0.6 grams more than the other one. Like it just did.
Yeah.
And we weighed them several times to confirm that. So
I think that's another just tiny little caveat we can mention too while we're on the topic is that is one of the big reasons why it's nice to have a scale, because in Beyblade X, it doesn't matter what your friends say, the size does matter, especially the weight of the Beyblade. If your Beyblade is too light, it's going to get sent into the pocket every time. It is going to be Shark Scale's plaything. But if it's heavy enough, it might just stand a chance against Shark Scale or Hover Wyvern.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the big thing. I agree with Chad. If you want to take Beyblade seriously and you want to be the very best like no one ever was and all that kind of stuff, you do need to pay attention to smaller, because at the end of the day, once you get to the level of play like Wacko's at or Field KO or Wayward, it comes down to very minor things at that point, you know? Like how much does your Tyranno beat weigh versus your opponent's? I mean, that kind of stuff can matter.
Yeah.
What I do want to say is for the player who is just starting, who is just trying to get into it, who just trying to play at home with their kids or their friends or their family, you know, maybe we'll go out to an event here and there. Don't lose sleep over slight variances in weight on your blades versus your buddy's blades or whatever. Like, just play and have fun. When we're talking about 0.5 grams of a difference, we're talking about high-end tournament players that spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on Beyblades. When you're just starting out and you're just trying to get into it, don't worry about that stuff. Just use what you have and you're going to have a great time.
Oh, yeah, and that's a great point. Just remember, like, this is a conversation for brand new person that wants to get him and his kid into a thing, maybe try to get him and his friend just into the game. I think he just ripped his first Beyblade like this past weekend, his first ever. So he's literally brand spanking new to the game. So he doesn't know really Wizard Rod compared to Horn Rhino. He doesn't really know what
Oh
those
God.
differences are. Hey, it's a big difference. And being competitive Beybladers, we all know that. But him, he doesn't know really what those really are, what they do, and if they're good or bad. So,
I mean, that's fair. You know,
yeah.
it's like if you want to be competitive Beyblader, don't use this.
Oh, don't use that one.
Don't use Mammoth. Okay, got it.
Well, that's actually a really good point for new players. Like a lot of new players, their first like thing they're gonna see or maybe want to purchase is the Hasbro Extreme set, and objectively, it is not a good set.
No,
Like,
No, it's not great.
I guess the stadium, if you need something to play in, is fine. But like, if you want to buy that and you have to buy it, I've bought one of those brand new from Target as low as $14.99 before. Wait till it's on sale. Don't buy it at $50. It's not a good deal at $50.
No.
It's not.
Yeah,
It
I
is
think
not.
right now, last time I looked, Amazon has the official TT. So, I can never say his name. Takara Tomy.
Takara
Tomy. Yeah. The official TT stadium on Amazon for like $40 last time I checked, which is
It was on sale. I think it's back up now.
oh, is it back?
I'll
Oh,
double
that's
check though.
unfortunate. Okay, but yeah, also that'd
I
be
should have
another
bought
thing.
one during that sale.
Yeah, that'd be another good thing just to kind of have as a extra, I guess you can have, even though to play and everything, you got to have a stadium. So I don't know if you consider that as an extra compared to really a necessary item. I don't know. Either way, having an official TT stadium compared to like a Hasbro or a Drop Attack or definitely the bucket ones. Get those bucket ones out of there. Yeah, they're little $5 little things, but
oh my God, the bucket ones.
yeah, the bucket
Yuck.
ones.
Me and my homies hate the bucket set. The only thing it's good for is holding popcorn and
Okay, so
popcorn bucket.
so I will follow up, Cake, because I did say I was going to look real quick.
Yep.
The official Takara Tomy tournament stadium that you're going to see at all the events you go to. Right now, it is on special on Amazon. Its normal list price is $54.99. The tariffs have been sending everything up recently, so pay attention for that. But right now on sale for $42.49, and that's the lowest I've ever seen it. So if you're a U.S. player and you need a stadium, that is the one to get. With that being said, I am looking on Amazon right now, and yeah, the Hasbro Extreme Stadium right now on Amazon is $53.74. Do not buy that, especially not at that price. That's terrible.
What?
Oh,
Not
heck no.
Yeah, $53.74. Meanwhile, you can buy the Drop Attack Stadium, and again, neither of those stadiums are going to be used in tournaments. So if you're just having one to play at home, it really doesn't matter which you get. The Drop Attack is $29.99. So, and the bays are infinitely better. So if you have to buy one because you need something to play in for cheap to start out, Drop Attack, not Hasbro Extreme.
Yeah, the Hasbro Extreme comes with the Mammoth and
Drawn Dagger.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, one rush bit is not worth all that.
No.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool to get a rush bit, but you can get that from your $10 Wizard Rod starter. So there's no need for that.
Yeah, then you get Impact and Wyvern, which is Wyvern probably easy top 5 of best bays in the meta right now. So
and low rush.
You're 4 for 6 good parts from the Drop Attack Stadium.
Yeah, and low rush is almost a necessity to play attack types at this point, and it's also the only way you can get a low rush here in America right now. So, whereas regular rush you can get from a wide variety of different products. So
yeah, interesting. Yeah, so there you go. $43 basically for an official TT stadium. Where are you going there, Vile?
Oh, I was just looking.
Oh, okay. But yeah, $43 for an official TT Stadium that 99% of tournaments are going to use. The other 1% are probably going to be the special occasions like the Hasbro only stadium tournaments or random stadium tournaments that I don't know might be a thing later on, and especially up in the Minnesota area pretty soon, next year maybe? Question mark.
Woohoo!
But yeah, majority.
Woohoo!
But yeah, $43 for a pretty for a necessary item, a TT Stadium. Definitely pick those one ups as well for a necessity item. So Wacko, I'm gonna throw this question over to you.
All right.
How does someone tell the difference between parts? So I'm guessing, like ratchet wise, how does someone tell the difference between ratchets?
Okay, so we can start with ratchets. So obviously, we've got it starts with the 5 or the 1 or the 9. That's just the number of protrusions on the outside. You can just kind of look at that. It's got 1 protrusion, it's a 1. If it's got 2, it's a 2. And yeah, that's how that works. And on the inner core of all the ratchets, they've got some little lines near where the bit goes. If you count them up and it's 6, it's a 60 height. If it's 7, it's a 70 height, and so on and so forth.
So the little notches up in the center where you put the little bit, so the thing that actually helps with the spin tells like the height of it.
Yeah.
Yep. And then when he's saying protrusions are just things that are kind of sticking out of the bays or of the ratchets themselves. And so what do those numbers actually really do for the ratchets? Like obviously 160 it does this, but what does that actually do for a bay?
A lot of what ratchets are used for is a little more advanced than just getting into it, but we can talk about it a little bit. It's mostly used for weight distribution and balance tuning. So every blade you get, like let's say you get 2 wizard rods, unless you're extremely lucky, out of the box, those 2 are not going to be the same thing. One might be perfectly balanced on 1, the other might be perfectly balanced on 5. So a lot of what you're using ratchets for is to find the perfect balance of what you want your bay to do. If you want it to hit a little harder, you might use 1 to throw the weight distribution off. If you want it to spin a little longer, you might try all your ratchets and see what makes it spin the longest.
So
and then you just use 60 height because heights above 60 aren't great. But
yeah, so I was about to say, does height matter in this game?
It matters a lot. There's niche picks like Silver Wolf, I would say maybe Tyranno Beat, that enjoy being 70, 80s pushing it, but a lot of the time you want to be as low as possible.
So about that, I've come across something about this that I have found really interesting on the Reddit. And that is what I'm seeing a lot of people doing is they are using 70, but they're using low bits with 70 height.
Yeah.
So like low flat or low rush with a 70 height Beyblade to get it just like a great example would be like Tyranno Beat here. I've been seeing people do that so that it can perfectly counter like Shark Scale and its horrid nonsense.
Yeah, Shark
But
Scale lets you do that as well. It'll run on 170 or 770 in low rush, so it'll stay on 60 height.
exactly. And that's where I think we were very correct on our observations when it comes to the ratchets is like the only ratchet that's really bad per se is 80 height ratchets. Like 60 and 70 have a purpose in Beyblade X. Just it all depends on the Beyblade, the combo, and the bit.
So
holy shit.
Uh-oh.
Guys. Okay, I'm gonna let you finish that conversation, but we have something really cool that we should talk about. I just saw a really dope image.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Anyway,
let's hear about it. Yeah, I said what I needed to about that, which is just 70 height is starting to make its way into the meta more, which makes sense because let's be honest, we said it. The two best ratchets right now are 160, 170, and what am I seeing? 160, 170 decks are starting to become more popular because they pop out of the pocket. Why not run it?
Very true.
Yeah, pocket escape's big.
Exactly. Especially in this format where attack.
Ooh, we got Stun Medusa leaks?
That's Stun Medusa.
Ooh.
What's that, a retool?
Oh.
I'm not sure.
That looks like a Ghost Circle retool almost.
Yeah, so Stun Medusa 960 gear ball for anyone who can't see the lettering. Also for you guys, it's posted in our Discord right now. And by our Discord, I mean the Great Plains. New and upcoming releases. Akuna just posted it. So you guys want to look at it closer.
Yeah, actually, if you want to hang on to that picture, Vile, if you actually don't mind going back to that, because actually that can kind of lead back into our products.
Why can't I go back to the picture?
Oh man, you broke it.
Oh, now I'm frozen.
Akuna's right. It's Shinobi Shadow. It's a retool of.
Oh, it's Shinobi
no!
Shadow.
Why?
Well, it might not be, but it has the same. It has the same prongs as Shinobi Shadow does. So I would guess that he's correct.
All right. So it go down to. Yeah, right there. So when it comes to product, you have the name of the bay itself. Then you also have some numbers with some letters to it. Chad, if you kind of want to go through what those things mean.
On which one?
Just in general, like on any product.
So you mean like what he's showing on there where it says 960?
Correct.
Yes.
So what do those numbers actually mean with the letters? And we're not going into CXs because that's going to be something completely different.
No. See, I have to bring out the pointer for this one. So Stun Medusa says it's on 960 GB. What that means is in this instance, it's talking about the 960 ratchet, which is called 960 because it has the 9 refers to the outer portion of the Beyblade, and the 60 the inner portion of the Beyblade. And like our good friend Wacko mentioned earlier, it's called 60 because if you count the little notches on the side, it should be 3 on one side, 3 on the other. And then GB is gear ball. If you see G 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a gear something. Like, I don't have gear ball, but an example is I've got GN, which is gear needle.
So the 960, yep. So the 960 or 360 or whatever like a smaller number with like a bigger number, normally that ends in a 0, sometimes ends in another 5, is the ratchet. And then there's going to be letters right afterwards that are going to be the bits, and they all bits do something completely different for the majority of them.
You know, guys, this is going to be the Pineapple Bay. That's what we're calling this, the Pineapple Bay.
Oh my god, I'm dead.
That is not what I'm going to call it. I have a much better name for it, and if you know it, you know it. That's the Starry.
Oh, guys, real quick, this isn't quite as exciting, but apparently we have a stock image for the U.S. release of Draciel Shield as well.
There we go.
760 dot. Okay, fantastic. Like, we need another dot. Okay.
Yeah, no, like I said, this isn't very excited, but for people who like to collect and didn't want to pay import fees and all that kind of stuff for one, this is fine, you know?
Fair enough.
The Stun Medusa is really cool, though. I'm really excited about the Stun Medusa, and not because I think it's gonna be great. I'm really excited to see what color that 960 is. That's what I'm excited for.
True. We love a new 960.
Now that's thinking with your noodle.
It is my banana. I'm thinking of my banana.
That's not a banana. That's the pop known as Starry because that pop can is literally green and yellow.
Oh my God.
The same exact colors.
Okay, so sorry for interrupting, guys. Let's go ahead and move on to whatever we're going to talk about next.
No, you're good. Hey, actually, that helped with the with another question that we probably should have just touched on. So it
fair.
was really good. So yeah, so when buying products, they're all going to have numbers and letters to them. So they all not all bays come with the same ratchets with the same bits or anything, so just kind of pay attention to those as well.
Yes.
Is there an easy place to find out what parts are with what bays?
I have the answer to this.
Oh, good, because I am not really understanding the question. But yeah, go ahead.
I know what
they mean. Like,
oh, okay.
They're asking, like, is there a source that you can go to find, like, what parts are on which Beyblade?
Baywiki or something like that, right?
I was just about to say, classic Beywiki has been my go-to for this. It is a wonderful little site that allows you to get a really good in-depth look at Beyblades. Like, if you look up a specific part, it'll tell you every single Beyblade release, both Takara and Hasbro, that it has ever been released on in the current format.
Yeah, and it'll even tell you which ones are Hasbro and which ones are Takara, so it's very easy to keep them separate. Like, it's nice.
Exactly.
Oh, very cool.
I'm installed. That's the only way I know. I still don't know what half the bits are called. I'm starting to get the ratchets down, but the bits still elude me a little bit, especially the ones that aren't any good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You really just got to memorize them. There's not any good way to get the bits memorized.
Someone is also saying Beyblade X database seems pretty good.
Yeah.
That one is also another good one.
Okay.
I think the WBO has a couple of resources too. People are working on apps. I don't know how many of them are released or in development, but I've seen talks that some apps are going to be coming out relatively soon for combo building and stuff like that.
Interesting. So more than just playing the video game and seeing if...
Yeah, there'll be like a website where you can just click on every part and it'll just display the deck that you make.
Doesn't Chad already have a site like that? I swear he's been talking to us about one.
Oh, that one's a little different than what you're thinking of, but yes.
Okay.
There's a site that I go to for, like, deck building.
Well, sure, but that's also good.
Yeah. I can't remember the name off of the top of my head right now, but basically you log into there and it allows you to, like, look up different Beyblade parts and add them to, like, a little deck, and then it tells you the deck is worth a certain amount of points, as well as, like, what the deck's strengths are and what its weaknesses are.
Yeah, not that I think most of our viewers would use it for the points thing, but I think they might use it just to store combo ideas that they want to try out and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully the Battle Pass eventually gets a English release or able to just download just the app in general. But that's also another thing. Like, it's cool to have a Battle Pass, but you don't really necessarily need it right off the rip.
To be fair, the only thing I like about the Battle Pass is measuring your launch strength. That's the only thing that matters about it to me.
Yeah.
You know, the truth is, and so I do want to touch on this when we're talking about newer players. Newer players, at some point, you are likely going to want to purchase Takara Tomy products.
Yes.
Absolutely.
A lot of times you might get hung up on worrying, like, well, do I want to get the Japanese region products? Do I want to get the Asian region products? And the truth of the matter is, guys, I wouldn't even worry so much about that. If you are somebody who is very, like, tech savvy and you're going to dig into, like, you know, the best place to order these things, and you're going to dig into proxy services, and you're actually going to get a Battle Pass and, like, use the app, that's one thing. But what I've found from about 90% of Minnesota players is they either can't even install the app to begin with, or if they do have the app installed, they've never redeemed a singular thing from either Japan or another Asian region. So I think for most people, you should just try to find it at the best price you can, and you should order it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, 1000%. Don't worry about, as long as it's something reputable and is trusted by people to get Beyblades from one place to another. If it's cheap and it gets you the Beyblade and it ain't a fake one, do it, do it, do it. Do not hesitate to do it. I will find you and I will take your deck list.
Oh my god. I was mostly just touching on, like, I know there's a lot of players in our community who romanticize, like, getting all Japanese releases or all other Asian region releases, and most of those people never wind up redeeming a single item. Like, they don't.
Yeah, like, I literally have a
You're
stack
not even
full...
wrong.
No, I literally have a stack full of just codes right on my desk.
I've taken pictures of every one of my codes. I haven't done anything with them. Maybe one day, but
yeah, hopefully one day.
Not yet.
Wacko, how many of your codes are Japanese region versus Asian region, do you think?
I couldn't tell you. I know they're not all the same thing, but I've got no clue.
Yeah,
I was mostly curious because if you had a lot of Japanese region ones, I'm surprised you didn't take initiative on that, and try to redeem some of those and then pick them up when you go over there.
That's a good point. I've been trying to save up. Well, I quote unquote save up if I ever actually do it. I've been trying to wait for the red arrow to come out because I need to retire my Arrow Pegasus, but I don't want to use my other mint one.
No, that's totally fair. I have probably close to 100,000 points on both Asia and Japan region, and Valkyrie Volt just isn't it with the prices you can get it at if you're willing to dig into the Japanese market. I'd much rather wait for next season's rare Get Bay, which hopefully is a little better. And then also they'll have Arrow Pegasus as like the secondary bay. Like that just seems like the play is to save your points right now. That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. That's actually a really good point.
Yeah, absolutely. Even though like getting all the points for the Arrow Pegasus was a pretty good bay, and honestly it still is a good bay. But people just don't want to rip it because they don't want to wreck it.
Arrow's great. I used it last weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Arrow's doing really well. I mean, I've sold 4 Arrow Pegasuses in the past month, and I mean, not a single one at less than like 250. In fact, the price on the original just keeps going up. One just sold on eBay in an auction setting for $330.
What?
That's
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
wild.
Like,
and that's and you got to figure the buyer still has to pay tax on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's actually more like 350. You know, like that's crazy. Like,
yeah, that is.
People are crazy.
That is absolutely.
Well, the availability is plummeting. That's the problem. And until the red one comes out, that original is going to have a huge price point. To be honest with you, for collectors, I still think it'll probably drop a little bit once the red one comes out for like a small amount of time. But then I think it's probably going to trend back up because they're never going to re-release Arrow Pegasus in that form. So if you want that particular metal coat one for display, it's just going to be expensive going forward, I think.
Yeah.
And man, if they do the thing they did with Crystal Drake, where they lower the weight by a couple grams, blue one's gonna
that will also be very bad.
More.
Yeah, no, I think in fact that might even drive the price higher still than it is right now. Simply because people might get the red one, they might like it, and then they're gonna start thinking like, oh, but if only I had the one that weighed 1 or 2 more grams, and then they're gonna want to buy that one. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else to say except that original one's probably going to be important. Like, just saying.
Yeah, who knows what TT, Hasbro, and people that make a lot more money than what I probably ever will, that have never even ripped a bay ever in their life, have up their sleeves, but it is what
Jake, what other questions do we have? What other questions do we have, brother?
We got quite a bit of more questions there, my friend. So, well, this one's pretty easy. What communities can I join / follow? So
that's a really broad question.
I mean,
if I can move the microphone a little closer, you should totally follow Spin Zone Podcast if you're not already subscribed. I mean, what are you doing? You're wasting your time.
But yeah, there are tons of Facebook groups about Beyblades, about Beyblade X in general, and especially there might be even a specific Facebook group for your specific state that you live in, like
or a Discord group,
or Discord, or both. So definitely look into like typing onto Google, like what state you live in, plus Beyblade X, you might be able to find some quick and easy access to any Discord or Facebook group or both, or some kind of, maybe even a person that has some kind of access to that so they can let you in. Because that's how I've met actually all of my Beyblade friends and everything, is through the Discord that we are part of, the Great Plains Discord. Events are always coming up, which is another great place to look into for events, besides the WBO website, which we can probably get into later on. But yeah, Facebook groups all over the place. If you're not 100% sure, look into Beyblade groups and then type in, hey, I'm looking for people that are in like this state or in this city or whatever, and you might be able to find some people off of that one. Because I just moved here. I just moved to Minnesota about like 6 months ago, and that's how I initially found people. Were typed in Minnesota Beyblades, and the Facebook group came up. Then I found the Discord, and the rest is history.
Yeah, I mean, I will say Facebook is probably the place to start, and it's kind of counterintuitive to say, because what I've found, and not just in Minnesota but in most areas, the Facebook group is not hugely active. Okay, but when you find the Facebook group, it tends to be easier to go onto Facebook or go onto Google and search, Montana Beyblades or Arizona Beyblade, or whatever area you're in. You'll probably find a Facebook group, and then the Facebook group will more than likely make it appear like your community is totally dead. It likely is not dead. What's probably going on is that everyone's on the Discord. So if you get to the Facebook group, there's normally a link for the appropriate Discord on that Facebook group.
For majority of
that
times,
would be, yeah, that would be like, don't get on the Facebook group and then because if you look at the Minnesota Beyblade Facebook group, like Cake and I have been trying to propagate that a little bit, but if you just kind of glance at it, it looks like Minnesota's kind of dead, when in fact, we have a pretty active community, and our Discord is, pretty active. But if you just went off the Facebook group, you'd be like, man, I'm never going to be able to do anything in Minnesota. But that's just not objectively true.
Oh, no.
So find the Facebook group, locate the link to the Discord. Most of these communities, the vast majority, are communicating on Discord.
Yes.
And then also to find events in your area, if you can't find a Facebook group, if you can't find your local Discord, the WBO website, like Cake mentioned, that's worldbeyblade.org. Go on there, and there's a tab right on the front page, front and center, middle of the top of the page. That says find an event near you, put in your state, and it'll show you all the upcoming events that are going on in your area. And that's a huge boon for people who are struggling to find their area's Facebook group or their area's Discord. Go there and find the event in your area. There's likely to be a link in there to the appropriate Facebook or Discord. And worst case scenario, if there isn't, you can send a message right on the WBO website to that event organizer and ask them if there is a social media platform that they are using for their community. So, those are some tips to kind of help you get involved with your local scene, wherever that may be.
Yeah, I think Discords are more prominent compared to Facebook groups, especially nowadays, because it's basically just several chat rooms that so much easier to communicate compared to putting a post and then waiting for comments, or getting into an actual chat, which are, so they say, going away in January. But so Discords are probably more prominent and more successful than Facebook groups are right now. But
for sure,
still, it still doesn't hurt to go onto, and there's so many Beyblade Facebook groups. There's so many of them. So just kind of get out there. Hey, I'm looking for bladers that are part of this state, and you don't know what's gonna bite and might elevate your gameplay. What are some strategies?
What else we got, Gabe?
What are some strategies to use for more beginner friendly? Probably just get some friends together and just rip some bays, I guess. Not because just starting out, obviously, with all four of us, we know there's more than just ripping a bay and hoping for the best. It's all like about the power, about your launch technique, that's a whole video in itself. Launch techniques and other stuff like that.
Yeah.
So probably
I would say if you're just starting, right? If
Yep.
you're buying your first bays, you're excited, maybe you've watched a few episodes of the anime, you're ready to get involved. Ideally, you might have some friends who are also getting interested in getting involved with you, right? And that would be a great place to start. However, I've come to find that there are a great deal of people, even here in our local community in Minnesota, who love Beyblade. And if they had not happened to find the Great Plains server or the Minnesota Beyblade Club Facebook group, or happened to look on the WBO, they would probably not be playing right now because they don't have friends who are interested. Even some very prominent people in our community, organizers and stuff, not everyone has this built-in group of personal friends they've known for years who want to play Beyblade. In fact, some people's friends hate Beyblade. Like, so
which is wild. It's a great game.
I think it's wild too. With that being said, obviously, if you're just getting started, you have a group of friends that want to play with you and get started with you, that's ideal. If you don't, but you don't necessarily want to hop right into some big ranked event, most areas, and Minnesota included, will have a day of the week where they have a free play somewhere. And that is a great way to get out there, to meet some of your fellow local bladers, and to practice a little bit and get some rips in without the stress of a tournament.
Yeah, so at least over here in Minnesota, we have every Wednesdays starting about 9 o'clock at Kraken Hits in Friendly, Minnesota. And there's so many other areas, but with us, we just kind of meet at night, hang out, shoot the shit, rip some bays, just have a grand old time. And it's also just another great time to play test your builds. Just like if you're playing a TCG, a lot of people have like just a local gameplay day that they meet up, play test their decks, and that's the same thing with Beyblades. Just kind of get together one day a week or so, play test, see what works, see what doesn't work, change up your play style with one specific bay compared to another, etc., etc. The list goes on. And other places might have it on like Friday nights, which is very doubtful, but it might, or Sunday afternoons, or any time. So definitely, and again, look into the Discords or Facebook groups and try to find that community, like Vile was just saying, because this is really how the podcast really got started. Martine, he wanted to make a podcast. Then we found some people to make the podcast, and look at us go, 16 episodes in and going strong. Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, I mean, you got a good point.
Yeah.
The other thing I'll say, guys, is, if you're entering a community, right, and you're like, man, there's not many events, there's not many free plays, like, be the change you want to see. You might feel like, oh, I'm new, there's nothing I can do, it's blah, blah, blah. That's not true. If you want to play Beyblades in your area, and there is a lack of events, if there is a lack of free play evenings, whatever the situation is, like step up and be that person, be like, hey, who wants to get together at such and such place this week? What night works for everyone? Or how about Sunday afternoon or whatever? Like if you cannot find what you are looking for, don't be afraid to try to create what you are looking for.
Oh yeah, absolutely not. Yeah, be that one person that makes something happen, and you never know what can actually happen off of that.
What else we got, Cake? I know we got more.
Yeah, so I don't know. What should he look out for counterfeit bays?
Yeah,
well,
first off, it's a really good question.
Here we go.
But it's also a very, very hard question to answer.
Well, there is a good way.
There's an easy way.
Yep,
Listen up, Quest. Listen up. If you find a Beyblade X Beyblade and it's too good to be true, it probably is. Don't buy it.
First off, why are you beating him with a finger stick?
because so many people are like, wow, look
Okay,
at this. I can
hold
get
up. Damn it.
16 Beyblades in a box for
Well,
like
actually,
$40. That's a great price.
Okay, so
This
What
is a
is
great
the funny
example.
box?
yeah, like
This is a great example.
yeah, I
If
got
you
you
see
pulled up,
like
Lyle.
8, 10, 12 Beyblades on Amazon with a kit like this, with a bunch of launchers, a fake battle pass for something like $31. This is too good to be true. This is fake. And there's a lot of listings like this, okay?
First
Do
off,
not buy this.
that Dragoon though.
Exactly. And
Some of them are pretty wacky.
And
Oh,
also, that's another great thing is if you see a Beyblade that is a color coat that does not exist, it doesn't.
so
There's no such thing as a gold coat Cobalt Dragoon. If you see it, it ain't real. The real yellow Cobalt only has the plastic being gold colored.
so what I
Yeah,
would
here's another great example, guys. There's a gold wizard rod here. Okay, a gold wizard rod here in the U.S. You probably can't get a complete one for less than about $300. It's not going to be in a 6-pack with a stadium for $37.99. Okay, like this is one of the premier fake brands that you're going to see a lot of. This Top Gyro X. I believe
And
they're out of the
Rapidity.
Philippines. These are fake. Do not buy these. Okay.
True.
Again,
Very
a
true.
stadium, 2 full-size launchers, 6 metal coat bays, some of which are colors that don't even exist, like this purple one here is just not something that actually exists. Same with this blue unicorn sting. These are fake. Do not buy these. If you bring them to your local event, you will not be allowed to use them, and hopefully you won't get laughed at, but depending on the community, you might get laughed at a little bit.
Yeah,
So just don't do that.
just personally buy brand new. Do not go off a marketplace unless you know or have a really good community that you can trust. Be like, hey, is this real? And people,
If you are on Marketplace, there is actually a pretty good way to tell if what you're looking at is real. There was a wave of fake blue Cobalt Drakes going around a while ago. The best way to tell if those are real, and probably the Valkyrie Volt as well, all official Beyblade layers, like the blades themselves, are either held together by rivets or tri-wing screws. Those fake Cobalt Drakes that were going around, they were held together
Yes.
by just the standard Phillips
Screwdrivers.
If you see something with a Phillips screwdriver, it is not real. Phillips screw. Don't buy those.
hey,
Yeah, and that's very true. Now, if you're on an Amazon listing or an eBay listing or a marketplace listing, you might not be able to tell that. One thing that is almost always a dead giveaway is all these fakes do not do a good job at replicating the stickers. The official stickers will always say Beyblade X. Now, some of it might be a little obstructed by the picture or something, but you'll always be able to tell they say Beyblade X on it. The fake ones,
Yeah.
they might have the bay's number. It might be CX04. They might be a bunch of Japanese text. It might say Top Gyro X. It will generally not say Beyblade X. The sticker is something that you can usually see in the picture and is a dead giveaway that you're buying a fake Beyblade.
Yes. And I have another one too that not a lot of people know about, but is, as someone who's been in Beyblade as long as I have, it is such an important factor and something you can easily tell. Does this look like those super shiny Beyblades that you see on the websites? No. Real
Oh, good point.
Beyblades have a dull shine. They do not shimmer like god darn cutlery from a brand new kitchen set. Yeah, look at how shiny that stupid
it's
thing
so
is.
shiny.
Look at it.
Yeah, and this
It's
is what
too
this is
shiny.
what Wacko. This is what Wacko was talking about. This blue is much lighter than the official color. And I don't know how well this is going to come through on the video feed, but if you look kind of closer, it says Bay Super X.
Yeah.
And then there's like a BX whatever number up there. That is fake. That is very fake.
And there's also no arrow to it to show.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just the lines. There's no arrow. The other
Oh,
thing
yeah.
is like when you see these weird brands, like it's to the point we're laughing about it, but a lot of people don't understand that when they first start.
It's
So-
No.
true.
And that's why I say the other best way you can tell is, especially if you're on Amazon, if it doesn't say Takara and it doesn't say Hasbro, it's probably not.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
actually, here's another great thing that I've just realized. I'm looking at Amazon right now, and this is actually really cool. So first off, if you find something you know is an official product, right? Like you find the
Yep.
Drop Attack Stadium here, if you click here, visit right here under the title, visit the Beyblade store.
yeah,
Everything in the Beyblade store is
Yep.
going to be official. Okay. Another
Great point.
kind of easy way to tell is if you look at some of these listings, they say Beyblade
Right on
in like darker font, Beyblade.
yeah,
Now when you
right up on the
scroll
very
down
top.
here and you look at these, you don't see that. You don't see that
Exactly.
Beyblade. Okay, here's another
'Cause they
official
can't.
product. The Jurassic World collab, right? It says Beyblade. You know, a lot of these will say Beyblade right there on top. Just like make sure you're protecting yourself because a lot of this stuff is fake and you have to be careful. So
Yeah.
It's up to
And
you to find it. It's up
yep.
to you to not buy fake Chinese Beyblades from some part of China that doesn't even know what a Beyblade is, and they just call it spinning top wow adventure fun.
I'm done. I'm done. All
So
right,
yeah.
Cake, what's the next question?
Yeah, so basically unless you have a community or people that you trust, don't buy them off Amazon or don't buy them off Marketplace. Buy them on Amazon or from a trusted
A
website.
reputable source. A
Yep.
reputable source.
Yep. Either way. Just like Bays and Bricks or any other location. So, let's. Do I need to buy extra stadiums to run a tournament? Which kind of goes into how does he begin to host a tournament? So,
Well,
It depends on how many people you have in your community, I think. Because if you've got a good amount of people like us who are willing to lend stadiums, then you've got a good deal going. But if it's just you and you're introducing a bunch of new people, you might need a stadium or two.
yeah.
I would say at a minimum, if you're starting out a community, it's nice to have two TT stadiums just as a minimum, because that at least gives people a couple choices when it comes to like stadiums to, play in and practice in, yada yada.
Yeah, because I think
Yeah, so
Vile is the only official Beyblade organizer, if I'm not mistaken. Because you're not, are you, Wacko?
Nope, I'm not an
Yeah,
organizer.
I didn't think you were organized. Yeah, so Vile, if you want to kind of go ahead take this one since you're the actually
I mean,
official.
so guys, first off, it's really so we talk about the WBO. If you're out east or down in Florida, you might talk about the BBAX. Okay, these are both governing bodies that release standardized rule sets and have websites where you can, host events, invite people to events, people can find your events, and also where you report, your tournament results, winning combinations, things of that nature. WBO is much bigger than BBAX. Most areas use exclusively WBO. Like I said, out east a little bit, you will find some BBAX and also down in Florida. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is to run an event is you have to have a venue. Okay. Number one is if you don't have a venue, it doesn't matter if you're a WBO org, it doesn't matter if you're a BBAX org, it doesn't matter if you don't care about either of those governing bodies and you're just going to run a local event and that's going to be what it is. You need a venue. You can't do any of these things without a venue. You could have 800 Takara Tomy stadiums, and if you don't have a place to set them down and play, it does not matter.
Very
So
true.
the first thing you
Exactly.
have to do is you have to find a venue. Okay. And if you want to run free events with minimal prizing, or maybe you have a small sponsorship from Bays and Bricks or something like that, you could do that at somewhere as simple as your local public library. Most of them have private rooms. Most of those private rooms can be rented, and they're essentially all going to be free. Okay. The caveat to that is that your local library is most likely, and I can only speak to Minnesota, I can't speak to every state, but I would assume it's similar across the board. They are not going to allow you to be buying and selling things at the event, and they are not going to allow you to charge entry fees. They don't want any money changing hands at the library. So if you're going to use that as a place to host, you are likely not going to be able to charge entry fees. You are likely not going to have a huge prize pool, and you're likely not going to be able to have vendors. Okay. So if that's how you want to do things, a library is a great place. If you are okay with those rules and regulations, the library is a great place to start because there's very little on the line for you if things don't go well.
Yeah.
With that being said, if you want to step up into a venue like a game store where you can charge an entry fee and you can offer better pricing, you are going to need to sit down with ownership or the manager or somebody, and you're going to have to work out a deal. There is almost no venue out there that is going to let you run an event where you charge an entry fee that they are not going to want to cut. They are absolutely going to want to cut, and that'll depend. Here in Minnesota, we see everything from 20% to 50% of the total entry fee, depending on the venue you're talking about, is going to go to the venue. And you need to be ready for that. You need to be aware of that. You need to be comfortable with that. And in areas where rents are much higher on spaces, like New York and New Jersey are great examples of this, you might pay as much as 67% of your entry fee to the venue, because they are paying $5,000 a month for rent, not $900 like they might be here in somewhere in the Twin Cities. It's going to depend largely on your local market. You need to understand what that looks like, and don't be afraid to reach out to multiple venues and get multiple offers. Look around, see what makes sense to you. And if you can't find something off the rip, maybe you do host free events with minimal pricing at a library for a little while, and then use that data, use the videos, the pictures, the amount of players that are showing up to pitch then one of your local stores. And also, don't be afraid, if you have an agreement with a store and you've run a great deal of successful events there and are making them a lot of money, don't be afraid to sit down and talk with them and maybe renegotiate your rate a little bit if you feel like it's constricting at its current percentage. Like, the biggest thing is you have to take initiative. I would say, beyond having a venue, you have to be willing to take initiative, whether it's reaching out to the venue, whether it's advertising on WBO, on BBAX, on your local Facebook group, wherever you're going to do that, you need to take initiative. And if you don't, you're not going to have good events. There's so much to this, right? I would say, if you're just starting, just run an event at your local library, or maybe a free play at a game store that's willing to let you use the space for free because they don't have anything else going on and you're not charging an entry fee. Like, get the feel for the people in your community. And listen, some communities aren't ever going to support big events. I look all the time and I see out in Cali, they run events 7 days a week. Okay. Any day of the week in Cali, you can go and play Beyblade. Okay. You can get 100 people at an event in Cali. New York and New Jersey are the same thing. Toronto, they have 80, 100, 120 people at these events. Minnesota is not going to have that. Not unless Hasbro really steps up the marketing and suddenly everyone loves Beyblade. And so just be aware of what your local community's restrictions are going to be. Like, how big can you grow it? That's going to depend on your metro area. It's going to depend on your outreach, your effort, all the work and time that you put in. But at the end of the day, if you live in Des Moines, Iowa, you are never going to get the same attendance numbers that you do in New York City, in Los Angeles, in Dallas, Texas. It's just not possible. You have to be aware of the limitations of your area. The last thing I'll say is, make sure you're offering your players reasonable value. When you decide to charge an entry fee, you need to figure out your split with the venue. Make sure that the players feel like they're getting a good value. You have to pay the venue out. There's not going to be a way around that unless you've got a brother who owns a store or something, okay? But beyond that, make sure your pricing dollars are going as far as they can. Each player that enters, yes, a cut's going to go to the store, but a cut's also going to go to pricing. If your only methodology for obtaining pricing is going and buying on Basin Bricks, you are not offering your players the best value. Okay, you just aren't. Basin Bricks, well, a great reputable site that sponsors us, and I love them. If you are an industrious person like I am, there are places that have better pricing. There are other ways to get Japanese or Asian product here to the U.S. at better pricing, especially if you're willing to spend in bulk. Figure out what that looks like for you, because I promise you, the organizers that do look for alternative methods of obtaining pricing can offer better pricing than if you just go on Bays and Bricks or you just go to Walmart and you buy things at full retail every time. Like that's just the truth.
Yeah. And also just kind of think outside the box. It doesn't necessarily need to be in like a card store or a comic store or literally in just any kind of store. It could literally be outside at a park under a gazebo.
That's a good point. That's a good point. That is something you can do. And especially if you live in an area that isn't Minnesota, you can, in places in Cali, I mean, in Florida, you can run events outside all year long, right?
Yeah.
Now, maybe not certain days of the summer if you don't want your players to get heat stroke, but, you know, obviously always take safety into account. You know, if you're going to host an event outside, take safety into account. Now, at parks, a lot of the time, you're right, Cake, you are going to be able to host for free. However, be aware that your local park, if they have big gazebos, if they have, I don't know, I call them like semi-structures. They could be like, it could be a little more than a gazebo, but not fully enclosed. These types of places, a lot of times, if you show up and they're not occupied, you can use them and it's not a problem. But on the weekends and during prime hours, they are probably being rented. The city makes money by renting out gazebos, renting out other structures in public parks. And if you don't pay to rent them out and expect you're just going to be able to do it for free all the time, there's going to be a time where you're going to show up, you're going to have 20 players there, and it's already going to be booked for a bar mitzvah, and you're going to be shit out of luck. Don't do that to your players. Like, be very careful about using public gazebos and promising certain things to your player base if you have not paid to book that space.
Yeah, if you don't have full control over the situation or venue or wherever, like Vile says, if your brother or whoever that you are close with owns like some kind of shop of some sort that you know you can guarantee that you can get in, host an event, have the space, kind of don't guarantee it, but yeah, if you want to try to get some people together, hey, I'm going to set up a thing for this coming weekend under this gazebo. Just try to get there early, but there are ways around it, but can't really guarantee it. Just so definitely have a plan B and then definitely a plan C if plan A doesn't come full in circle.
Well, that's the big thing, right? I could get there as early as I want to the gazebo. Yeah. If I'm sitting there, that's all well and good. I can get there at 10 a.m. My event starts at noon. But if at 11:45 a birthday party that is paid, $150 for the day to rent that out shows up, I have to move.
Yep.
And if I don't move, the park officials and potentially even the police might become involved. And you don't want any of that negative attention on your community.
No, absolutely not.
So just be aware of that. Also, if you're really dangerous, and this is something else, you could, I suppose, host at a local park outside of a gazebo. Just be aware of the potential pitfalls with that. Is if it starts raining during your event, you're kind of host, like it's tough. I think for most people in most areas, your best bet is to either run free events with minimal pricing at a library and try to source your pricing through sponsorships from places like Bays and Bricks, Ripcord Arena, Spin City Imports, etc. Or strike a deal with a local venue, whether it's a game store, a coffee shop, whatever it happens to be, even just an empty room in a warehouse. I mean, whatever works for you, I guess. You know what I'm saying? There's all sorts of options.
Yeah.
And just be prepared to give them a cut. Stadium wise, you guys mentioned stadiums earlier. I personally right now have 3 what I would consider to be functional Takara Tomy arenas. Okay. I also have 2 that I would say are no longer serviceable for events. And how I would circumvent that if I wanted to run 4 or 5 stations at an event with only 3 stadiums is you reach out to your community, okay? There's usually somebody who is willing to lend their stadium to help make sure an event goes off swimmingly, okay? That's usually just going to be the case. Hopefully there are people like that in your community. If there aren't, you're probably just starting up that community. You probably don't need any more than 2 stadiums. You know what I'm saying? Like full stop. Yeah. So I wouldn't worry much about that. And then the other thing to say is if you want to build and grow your community and you're struggling to do it organically, you do have to look at becoming a certified judge and organizer, probably through WBO, or if your area is appropriate for it, BBAX. Those sites really do help generate new interest in your events that you probably would have never found otherwise. And they do offer structure and peace of mind to the players that you're not just some crackpot trying to steal their money who isn't going to give them any prizes. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, and not saying that someone would, but my point is that, like, if I see an event posted here in Minnesota and the guy's not affiliated with WBO, he's not affiliated with BBAX, I don't know the dude, I'm probably not going to his event. And if I am going, it's only to look out for my rest of my community to see if the guy is legitimate or not. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
So just a lot of things to think about, but at the end of the day, if you want to do it, there's a path to it. You know, I started up and I didn't know anybody. I had no idea what was going on. And, you know, I didn't even attend an event for the first 2 or 3 months I was on the Discord. And here I am. I think I've judged every event since the beginning of September, outside of like one thing that wasn't relevant to me. I organize my own events. I have a partnership with a venue. I'm going to try to start getting sponsorships here shortly.
There you go.
So my point is, you can go from zero to hero pretty quick if you have the motivation to do so.
Absolutely. Chad or Wacko, do you kind of want to add to that, or was that pretty spot on?
Pretty spot on, I think.
Yeah.
That's as spot on as you can get. The only thing I was going to mention is, it's funny you mentioned the whole gazebo thing, because that is absolutely what we did when we first started the Minnesota Beyblade Association, back when it was, again, still just the metal fight stuff. Is we unironically just went to like open gazebos, and we did have an incident where it was outside the library and some guy was just laying on the grass, uncommunicative. And we thought, what's going on? And then he started like hiccuping, and it's like, oh, he's on the south. And so police had to get called, and he had to get dragged away. And it's like, we're sitting there just like, oh, that's
3, 2, 1,
let it rip, I guess.
Yeah, so that kind of goes back into Vile's whole thing. So safety over bays all day. So if you're not, safety over bays. So.
I mean, it's important, and it is worth saying that, guys, it is so much easier if you have a partnership with a private venue to get players who have been behaving inappropriately or who may have a criminal record that you don't want to see at your events, you know, if they're a kitty toucher or something like that. Private venues, it's very easy to trespass people like that, okay? Public parks and stuff, you may not have a whole lot of luck. If that person wants to be there, it's a lot tougher to keep them away.
It's a public area, so they have all the rights to.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, guys. So basically, got 3 questions left, which can kind of bleed all into the same thing. So, how does one judge an event, and then also any tips for judging?
Be very watchful.
That'll depend on. That's true. That'll depend on if you're just hosting by yourself, hosting through the WBO. If you're just kind of hosting by yourself, you can have anybody judge. Nobody's gonna force you to do anything. But if you are judging through the WBO or hosting through the WBO, I think most, if not all, of your judges have to have passed the judge certification test.
Yep.
Nope.
Yes.
Incorrect.
Really?
Or at least one. Was it
Incorrect.
just one? I couldn't remember.
So yes, real quick, for WBO to have an official WBO event, you need to have a WBO certified organizer and at minimum 1 WBO certified judge. They do not need to be the same person. So if I was only an organizer and Chad was only a judge, we would partner and put together an event. Now, as long as you have 1 certified WBO judge, any and all other judges can, okay, and I say can because I'm not saying they should, but they can be unregistered as a judge with WBO. Now, personally, I like to only use WBO registered judges. And it's not because I don't think that Egg, for instance, can't judge a match. I certainly think he can. And in a pinch, I would certainly use Egg to judge a match if I needed to.
He's not a
With
judge?
that being said, Huh? No, he's not.
Oh, I thought he was.
Not technically through WBO, although I do believe he can judge a match just fine. Okay.
Yeah. I thought he was certified. But
With that being said, at least locally here in Minnesota, guys, our organizers have started to want people to be certified. And that's not just to make sure that they have the knowledge, because we all know Egg has played plenty of Beyblade X. He could judge a match, no problem. I would have full confidence in his ability to judge a match. With that being said, if a player begins a dispute regarding something, it is much easier to be able to say, hey, he's a certified judge. He knows what he's doing. I'm going with what he's calling here. Versus, oh, well, he's not really registered as a judge. I'm not 100% sure if he has a full understanding of the rule. Like that's an awkward situation. So Wacko, technically your assessment was wrong, but also it was right.
So ideally you have almost everyone, but you only need to have one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gotcha.
But it's also cool if someone decides to have a dispute and you're a registered judge to just be like, hey, buddy, listen, what does the badge say? Does it say judge on this? Does it say judge on the badge?
Oh my God, that's wild.
I do think this is correct, though. Right now, because they just updated the WBO rulebook, I believe that all judge applications are on hold until they redo the judge test.
That is correct. The judge test is currently down. I know this specifically because both Blader and Mick Thunder have been recently trying to take the test, and it's been down for almost 2 weeks now, I think.
Holy mackerel.
Wild.
There is a lot of reworking to do. The rulebook did substantially change recently.
Well, actually, that kind of falls into one of the other questions. Where can he find the rulebook? Or where can a person find the rulebook for an official WBO judging test?
WorldBeyblade.org.
WorldBeyblade.org.
Yep, there should just be a little button on that website. It says rules, and then it'll give you all the rules for X, Burst, Metal Fight, whatever you want to run. The rules are there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And again, any sort of questions, find a community member. Like, at least in Minnesota, we're all very, very welcoming and very easy to talk to. So if any sort of questions, like, hey, is this okay? Is this part of the rules? Or, hey, I don't know how to call this or whatever. A majority of people are very welcoming and actually going to talk to you and kind of help you talk through it and help explain it a little bit better.
Absolutely. If you are not the first person to try to organize something in your area, try your very best. I know some people are prickly and, certain people together are like oil and water, but try your best to form a rapport with a judge or an organizer that has experience in your area. I would have been totally lost on all of this were it not for Akuna's tutelage when I first started. And even to this day, there are times where I'm on challenge trying to figure out how to do something. And Cake, you were there when we had 6 people or whatever behind the counter trying to figure out how to drop a player from challenge. Okay.
Well, first off, challenge is not a really.
I have some opinions on challenge, but we'll save those for another time.
We'll say that for another episode.
But
we'll just say it's a challenge to use. There you go.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to reach out to pre-existing prominent members of your local community for assistance if you find yourself having questions or needing a helping or guiding hand. A lot of times those people will be happy to help you. Yeah, I mean, just utilize your community if you're unsure of something.
Yeah, like we have said during so many of our previous episodes, the Beyblade community as a whole is so much more welcoming, so much more helpful compared to really any TCG that I have truly been a part of. Like Yu-Gi-Oh was that is something. Yu-Gi-Oh is a something community, that's for sure.
Oh, Cake, you and me were just talking about this earlier today. I was watching that video where he gets paid to do judge calls for Yu-Gi-Oh on an online website. And the very first call he took, someone had a very, very inappropriate name. And it's like, wow,
Yeah.
really? You chose to be that person today in Yu-Gi-Oh, huh?
Yeah, well, then again, yeah, Beyblade is just a very great community. I absolutely love it. One of the best communities that I have truly been a part of. So, um,
I can concur.
yeah. Anyway, other than those questions, are there any final advice for any brand new player looking into getting into Beyblades as a whole?
Well, actually, I just wanted to say one thing. Who was the wonderful person that asked us these questions again?
His name was Gunny T, coming from
Gunny T.
Facebook.
He mentioned he had a daughter, right?
Yes.
I don't like where this is going.
I was gonna say get her into Beyblades.
Oh,
Get her
okay.
that's
interested.
what
Yeah,
the
get
whole
as
thing
many
is for.
many people as you can into Beyblades. That's the goal.
Exactly.
No, that's
Listen,
what this whole thing is for.
Beyblade is exactly, and let's be honest. We got a lot of parents, especially in the Minnesota side, that bring their kids along, and
Mhm.
everyone there just has a lot of fun. It's a very fun family bonding experience.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like
Yeah,
at least
I'm sure you guys already talked about the boys team from
Oh
the
my
team
God, we have
tournament.
talked
boys,
about that.
boys.
My favorite family friendly moment at a Beyblade event was definitely when All Hail the King was playing real well with his Wizard Rod in a team event, and I got to say All Hail the King's Rod. That was one of my favorite family friendly moments at Beyblade.
No.
I'm getting
Anyway.
spanked right now. That's also family friendly, right? Yeah, guys, just like try to get everyone you can into Beyblade, whether it's your family, your friends, acquaintances, people you know from work, whatever. Beyblade's a lot of fun. And
Yes.
the game
Exactly.
is fun, but also the sense of community is fun. Half the reason
Exactly, and
I'm
that's what I
involved in
was
the
referring
hobbies
to.
I'm in, whether it's Beyblade or otherwise, is because I like spending time with the people at the events.
Yeah.
The event is great, the game is great, but the people, Beyblade's a fun game, but just like any game, what keeps people coming back after a certain point is no longer so much just the gameplay, but it's the enjoyment of spending time with their community and the friends they've made within that community.
Exactly. I mean, shoot, I wouldn't have met any of you guys if you guys had decided, you know what, this Beyblade X stuff looks like crap. I'm not going to take part in it.
I almost did. I was so close to never being involved in Beyblade. It's crazy.
That's wild.
Well, my buddies
I get
were
it.
all like, my buddies, so my personal friends, I do have personal friends who play. I'm lucky in that regard. We're all like, oh, well, let's go ahead and play this Beyblade. And I'm like, well, that seems okay. What is it? And they showed me, and they were showing me because they had all went on Marketplace and bought some Burst stuff. And I'm just like,
Oh,
man, this
God.
kind of sucks. Like, guys, I'm not doing this. This is lame. And
It's so
and
true.
and suddenly,
Yeah.
suddenly in the launchers, the winder launchers and bursts they just drive me, okay? And then the next week, finally, one of them had done a little research and realized that X was out and that burst wasn't the standard anymore, and they had bought some X products. And then I'm like, okay, well, this is actually kind of cool. This is a hell of a lot better,
Yeah.
But I was so close to never being involved with Beyblade because burst is just a joke. Especially Hasbro burst
Hey.
products are terrible.
Hey, Vile. Let me just use my burst ripcord launcher here real quick.
Oh my! Get out of me, okay? Get out of me.
No, it's so true. For whatever reason, burst ripcord launchers are like the size of a small dog. I
Yeah.
don't get
God.
why they made them so massive. They don't move around fast enough to require that. Is that Hello Kitty?
Yeah, that is Hello Kitty.
Yeah, Wayward made this for me. It's a little Chromie.
Oh hell yeah! Put
Hey,
that on
there you
Wizard
go.
Rod. Wizard Rod.
I love it. So, guys,
Tommy Burst does have some bangers, though. If they had been getting you into it with like Guilty Longinus, we might have had a chance. But
no.
Burst, no.
If that sticker doesn't tell you anything, what would have got me into Burst is showing me the official Hello Kitty collab bag. That would have.
Yeah.
That thing.
I have zero interest in ever owning any Burst tops, but eventually I might buy one of those just because it's cute. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's
Like
on
just as a
Amazon.
display thing.
Wait, hold on now though. You're telling me you don't like Burst? You don't like this Beyblade, which is like
No.
just look at the colors. It's like puke yellow and like your dad doesn't love you blue. It's such a perfect
Your
Beyblade.
dad doesn't love you blue. What in the world? Chad, let's keep your personal life off the podcast, brother. Like,
Oh my god.
I'm done. So, guys, we have talked a lot about people getting. I think we've kind of covered all the aspects that we can.
Yeah.
But Jake, before we get to the upcoming tournament announcements and kind of wrap things up, I did want to talk to Wacko a little bit. I mean, because he's been on here all episode, and he's been a really good sport and engaging with us and
great co-host.
all these fun topics. I want him to talk a little bit about his second place finish this past weekend in the Minnesota State Championship event.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, I can talk about that a little bit. Let's see. Well, first things first, going into the day, I decided that Wizard Rod just wasn't the move anymore. Crazy decision, I know, but I didn't use Wizard Rod all day.
I don't blame you.
Wow.
It's kind of like a 50-50.
I kind of substituted it with, I think it's been taking off a bit I see it mentioned in the WBO Discord, which is where I stole it from, Shark Scale Free Ball. This thing.
Yes, I've been hearing that thing. It has absolutely been crazy good.
And it looks a lot better with that new. It looks a lot better with that new sky blue free ball. I'm not gonna lie.
It looks great, yeah. So we had that.
What else did you run?
I had Aero Pegasus 160 kick. Aero Pegasus is my favorite bay. It's what my launcher is styled after, and I wanted to use it again. Unfortunately, using kick on Aero required something else on Hover Wyvern, and I settled on 760 Taper, which Taper it was the weak link.
Yeah.
It kept the outspin ability of kick a little bit, but it self-extremed a lot.
So let me ask you, just because I think a lot of people who are going to watch this are going to want to ask this. Why not rush or low rush on Hover Wyvern? What are your thoughts on that?
Oh,
there was actually a round or two where I ran it. I think it's good, and I think it's better than Taper. I just wanted to run a little bit more of a conservative deck that wasn't like all out attack.
I get what you're trying to
outspin Shark Scale. But
you wanted to have a bit like level, but you didn't have level, so you went with Taper.
He has level.
Level. I used to be a big fan. I'm not a fan anymore.
Oof.
Honestly.
Oof.
The 16 gears kind of kill me. But
interesting. So
yeah.
Wacko, what was your mindset going into the event? What were you thinking when you started the event?
Not gonna question that. Anyway, my mindset was
anyway.
Yeah.
Because you had locked in your deck list during practice on Wednesday night, right?
Yeah. I figured it out during then. My mindset was, if I do well here, that's great. If I don't do well, this is like 24 of the best bladers that we've got. This is going to be the toughest competition I've ever been in. I'm fine with falling short. I go through Swiss. I won my first 2 rounds, which unfortunately were both up against people I was practicing with that day. So that wasn't great, but I got the wins, and I think that was my first. I forget who my third opponent was, but I ended up battling. Oh, it was Gasp. I ended up battling 3 of the people who made Top Cut, which made my Butch Holtz really strong, got me in off a 3-2. And then, yeah, Top Cut just went great. I got lucky where I needed to. Played some great bladers. They couldn't have asked for more, I don't think.
Yeah, it was a great event overall.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So going into the finals, okay, when you faced off against Field KO, What were your thoughts going into that? Did you know that Field KO had been undefeated up to that point?
I had no idea.
Okay.
I just went into it like, all right,
just another
this
battle.
is the finals. Let's see what we got. I would like to win, but I've already made it as farther than I thought I would. So, and
So
then
how did you feel like that? How did you feel like that match went?
I don't think it went well at all. I think I got 2-0'd.
Oh no.
Yeah, I think Hover self-extremed at some point, and that wasn't great. And then, yeah. Shark Free Ball, it did okay. Aero Pegasus was the carry all day. We love Aero Pegasus. But
unless it self-extremes itself.
Oh.
You know, I judged, I would say, most of Field KO's matches during that event. Their Cobalt Dragoon was very good.
Cobalt Dragoon, it's interesting to run. In my third play or semifinals match, I played T-Dog, and I genuinely don't. He's great. I don't think I would have beat him if I didn't just know that he likes to run Rod and Dragoon in like relatively set order, because I could just match my Shark into his Dragoon every time and just get 2 points, which happened every time on the reshuffle.
Yikes.
I think Dragoon is just rough these days, but that's another topic.
That's fair.
I mean, listen, like I don't generally disagree with you. I was just Field KO just seemed to have very minor burst issues with their Dragoon all day long. Like I didn't feel like it bursted nearly as much as like
that thing for the life of me. I think I commented on it in the match. That's the tightest 560 I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I could not burst it.
No, it was.
Yeah, great player.
So, I mean, so like realistically, like you had a great performance, and you know, I don't think that's surprising to anyone. You've definitely been how do you say, a rising star of the Beyblade community here in Minnesota as of late. Let me ask you something, because this is something that people are afraid to touch on a lot of the time because it might offend some people or make them feel a certain way. But I think it's a fair question. What percent of your success, or maybe not even percent, but obviously you practice a lot, right?
Yeah.
Like I think I mean, you come to the Wednesday practice at Kraken Hits, I'd say, you know, more than the average person, where some people I don't think come at all, you know, and you come pretty consistently. Do you practice at home on your own time as well?
Oh, for sure. I like to put in at least a couple of hours the day or two before the tournament just to make sure my launch is ready to go.
Yeah, you were definitely the player I had to watch the most all day about making sure that your bay was above because you like to launch as low as
it's killing me. It's killing me. I'll get used to it eventually, but for now it's killing me.
I don't know how many times I had to say, "Hey, Wacko, just up just a little bit."
It happens so much in me and T-Dog's match. We both like to do it, but
oh, he does as well. Gasp was another one I had to keep a close eye on.
Yeah,
because I think because I said something to Gasp at one point and he adjusted it. But what I think he, and I'm sure others, I don't want to like put this solely on him, but what I think kind of the strategy might be now is that players are going to start their thing up there, and at the last second, like as the judge calls, you know, shoot, they're going to drop a little bit before they launch, and that's going to be really hard to call people on.
So hard to watch.
So I think that's going to be.
I don't know about you, Vile, but I think everyone needs to start launching from like this position.
Oh my god!
No, that's how you used to launch before we talked about it, Chad. Now, Wacko, the controversial part of this was not highlighting the fact that you practice and that you obviously care about how you play the game.
Yeah.
Do you feel that the amount of money you've invested in the game gives you an advantage in some cases over other players?
Interesting.
Pay to win.
Oh.
I think that honestly, in some places, yes. As Beyblade fans, we all know quality control is not 100% on these products. You buy one 960, it's garbage. You buy another, it's the best thing in the world. The more 960s you buy, the better chances you have of getting a good ratchet, which definitely helps to have more of that. And obviously having, well, I don't think I can say Valkyrie Volt is necessary, but Aero Pegasus, it's great, and you got to put some money into that. I think
Yes,
the
please
more
don't tell
product you
people
own,
Valkyrie Volt is necessary.
it's
Oh my
not.
God.
I wanted to make it good for a while, but it's not.
Yeah, you did. You had that sucker decked every day.
So
Yeah.
so your comment actually added a new ripple kind of to the question, because I think that everyone knows that, for instance, Aero Pegasus is still an extremely powerful bay. And I think that's probably the poster child that people point to and say, Beyblade can be pay to win sometimes, you know? But
Yeah.
you struck on an entirely different, like I said, kind of ripple or note that I don't think a lot of people consider, which is you have a very extensive collection. Not just you have an Aero Pegasus, but how many Pegasus blasts do you own, for instance?
I think I have 4.
And and guys,
Okay.
and I know
Okay.
people are laughing and whatever and like shocked, but this is a
Yep.
very real thing, because I believe that I have sold you a couple myself, both a red one and more recently one that you kind of picked out of a few options I had available. But that's a great example of a quality control differential on a bay, right?
Yeah, how many of those
Yep.
Pegasus blasts are actually usable? 2.
Oh my
2 of them
God.
are.
Wow.
And that's
The other
wild to
2
think
can't
about.
even hold a
Yikes.
lock chip.
Oh.
So
Wow.
you got to figure, like, you have those premium bays, the Cobalt Drake that I know you just purchased recently, the blue one.
Yeah.
Obviously you have the Valkyrie Volt metal lock chip, which we all know does weigh give or take a gram more than the Emperor Might one. That's pretty well established. Obviously
Yeah.
the Aero Pegasus, but I do think that your collection is very prominent. You have
Mhm.
one of the largest collections in Minnesota, probably I would say definitely in the top 3. You know what I'm saying? And the reason I asked you that is because I do believe that when you have access, you said some 960s are great, some are bad. If you have access to 10 or 15 or 20 different 960s, that can create a difference between you and maybe Chad, who might only have 1 or 2 to choose from.
I 100% agree. And
Yeah.
ratchet swapping
Singled
can
me out.
mitigate the issue, but ratchet swapping is also risky in its own right. You could ruin your own parts with it. But
Yes.
ratchet swapping is a band-aid for a problem that I wish didn't exist, but it's just how quality control works.
Mhm.
So I mean that's
Tell
just
me
an
about it.
interesting thing to talk about, because people, a lot of times want to bury the financial aspect of Beyblade, Um
And you can't.
but
You really can't, because at the end of the day, they cost money. It's like any
yeah,
other hobby. If you want to get good, you got to spend money. And if you don't got the money, you just got to do the best you can with what you got. That's all you can do.
True.
well, and that's the thing I want to make clear, as a follow up to kind of the question and the discussion we've been having. I don't think Beyblade is pay to win in the sense that, oh, Wacko has more money than the next guy, so he's just clearly better and is going to smoke him. Wacko's put in a lot more time and effort than I'd say 90% of our community has into being the very best player he can be.
Yeah, it's not like
Um,
any TCG or anything where all the meta decks are like identical and super highly priced or whatever. But yeah,
Like if
Uh,
Wacko handed his collection to a brand new player and said, "Hey, you're going to use this for the day," I don't think that player performs nearly as well as Wacko does. You know what I'm saying?
no,
Like
this
it's,
no.
but I do think that having good quality parts is a component of success.
yes, absolutely.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
I
Big
mean,
tip,
the way to put it
buy the
is it's
Hasbro
not
Fort
necessary.
Hornet. That Fort
Jesus.
Hornet 760 is nuts. 100% success rate. Anyway.
I well, but that's a good point, right? Like that's interesting to consider, because I would argue that a lot of players, even more serious players, might not own a Fort Hornet because it's not seen as this super meta bay. A lot of people buy bays based only on the blade, and they're not thinking about the components that come in them, and not just, oh, there's a 760 or a 960 or a 160, but is that 760, 960, or 160? Is that just a little bit better than some of the other ones? Because that does happen. I mean, I think it's without a doubt that the Red Phoenix 960 is better than the Impact Drake 960. I don't think there's ever been an argument about that.
I would 100% agree.
I was also going to say, did the Impact Drake come with a 960? I don't think it did.
It does.
It has a blue and I think black core. I'm not sure.
Chad, which you wouldn't know because somebody did not buy the Drop Attack Stadium when it was on sale for $18.49.
Oof.
Haha, but AJ has it, and I've never seen him use that 960. He still uses the 960 from the Phoenix.
There's probably a good reason for that.
Yeah, you got to buy that set though at some point. Next time it goes on sale, Chad, I expect you to get one.
I don't need no Impacto Drake. All I want is a hover.
Well, sure, but you need a low rush.
Yeah, but I can buy that part separately. You see, there are some beautiful websites that just sell the parts for pretty cheap.
Yeah, they sell a low rush for $15, and you could have bought the whole set for $18.49.
They do sell the individual parts for so much.
That's so dumb.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. And even to color match. I mean, Wacko, I know you follow the Asian market. You've seen what a green ghost circle goes for just because it has a green hexa with it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Like it's nuts. It's nuts. But I mean, Wacko, so overall, how do you feel about the event as a whole? I'll ask you a few like pretty basic questions. How did you feel about the prizing? Were you happy with the prizing?
It was great. I liked Akuna's idea of like a lot of the people here, they're going to have a lot of bays, but maybe they don't have cool commemorative deck boxes and stuff like that. And I didn't. I just have the regular Tucker Tell Me one. I'm just going to use this now. I think it was a great prize.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had talked to me about what he was going to do for prizing, like privately beforehand, and I had to, obviously keep the lip zipped on what he was doing to make sure it was exciting for everybody. But I loved it. I thought the ideas were great. We went through some Etsy listings together, and it was really cool. He did a great job making sure the prizing. And we got to remember, this was a totally free event. As long as you qualified, there was no entry fee. So I think the extent he went to with some of the prizing and also the gift cards that came along with that and whatnot, I think the prizing was great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. This deck box is cool. I consider this the prize. I honestly just forget about the gift card.
Yeah, which you shouldn't forget about because I'm sure there's something you're going to want to order with it. So, how did you feel about the because I thought the event was pretty timely. I felt like it moved along pretty well. Would you agree with that?
I think it did. I would agree.
And what were your thoughts on the judging? This is probably the first event where exclusively through the entire event there were 2 judges at each station. What were your thoughts on that?
I think that worked well. I think there's on one hand the 2 judges can definitely be a benefit. It leads to, better calls, 2 people to watch stuff, 2 people to check decks. On the other hand, it can kind of lead to, like delays in matches in various ways. But overall, I think it's a good system to run 2 judges if you have 2 judges to run at each station.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I agree that there were some positives to it. There was a certain point where I felt kind of a certain way about it. And I don't know if it's really good to discuss it publicly, but I had some mixed thoughts on it. I thought overall it was fine. I don't know if I would do it like that, and there's a couple of reasons for it. But overall, I do feel like it was pretty appropriate for what we were doing that day. This was supposed to be a big time event.
Yeah.
Now, was there anything else you really liked about the event, or was there anything you felt like could be improved upon in the future?
Let's see. Honestly, I'm kind of one of those people who will just like show up for any event and just Beyblade to have fun. I don't really care much about the circumstances around it. So as long as there's an event, I'll show up. But yeah, I mostly just show up to Blade with people. So
that's fair.
It went perfect in my book.
Good enough. I'm glad to hear that.
Based opinion.
Overall, I felt like Acuna did a great job. It was great to see the culmination of a lot of people who put in a lot of hard work over this past year to qualify for this event and prepare for it. And you did a great fucking job. I mean,
thank you.
This was the most highly skilled field of bladers we've ever had at a singular event. There were no free wins. There were no playing against 6-year-olds that had never, used a non-proto launcher before that day. I mean, like, you were playing against serious talent. Shit. Wayward is. I think he's ranked number 5 right now in the country. He was 4 for a minute, but I think one of the Cali guys bumped him down again.
I think that's right.
But yeah, I mean, so it's pretty crazy. For you to do so well, and I mean, congratulations to you. You had a great showing, and I hope you've been holding your head high since then.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
Yeah, so great job overall. Is there anything else we want to ask for Wacko? Because we've been going for over 2 hours already.
Ooh.
Yeah, Wacko probably wants to go eat dinner. I want to go eat dinner, so. I mean, I think I'm good. If Wacko has any last minute comments he wants to add, we should let him do that, and then we can probably just move into a quick rundown of upcoming events and then sign off.
I'm down with that. Wacko, you got anything, buddy?
Yeah. Thanks for inviting me on the podcast. It was last minute, but I'm glad to be here.
Hey,
we were glad to have you, bud.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we've been trying to get you on for a while. It's always great to have you. Probably one of the best bladers in Minnesota in general, and obviously second.
I don't think it's a probably anymore. He took second place in the state championship.
Yeah, so that. Yeah, definitely. So big thank you for coming on very last minute. So big shout out to my man Wacko. But yeah, we don't have any tournaments for the rest of December.
We are off. We are off. However, guys, real quick, I do want to let everyone know, New Year's Eve at Kraken Hits, we are having free play all night, 5 p.m. start time until Joe's going to even stay open a little late for us so we can see New Year's in together when we go until 1 a.m. So
hell yeah.
5 p.m. to 1 a.m. New Year's Eve. If you don't have any plans, you want to stay away from the booze and the drinking and all that, come on out to Kraken Hits. You don't have to show up for the whole time. Any amount of time you want to in between the 5 and 1. Just show up. Let's let it rip. Let's have a great New Year's. Dope. And then we do have some tournaments in January, right, Cake?
Yes, sir. We have, to my knowledge, 2 of them as of right now, and one of them is yours.
Yeah, so I do have a ranked event January 3rd, Kraken Hits. This is going to be the start of the new different entry fee system. I'm going to explain that real quick so everyone who's watching understands. Going forward at Kraken Hits, regular events are going to remain at the $7 entry fee that we have been accustomed to at Kraken Hits. With that being said, ranked events are going to move to a $10 entry fee to encompass more extensive prizing. So that is something that Sam has suggested and I have signed off on as being okay with me. It also keeps us in line with Acuna's ranked events, which now also feature a $10 entry. So just kind of standardizes ranked play here in the state, and I think that's a positive thing overall. So it's going to be ranked, pretty simple stuff. My post is currently pending still on WBO, so hopefully that's cleared within the next few hours. We'll see. But we do have Acuna's event on the 24th as well, right?
Absolutely. So that one is on January 24th, which is a Saturday in South St. Paul, Minnesota, which is at Dreamer's Vault in South St. Paul, Minnesota. That one starts at 10 a.m. or the check-in starts at 10 a.m. and the event starts at 11 a.m. So $10 entry. I believe it just got posted probably sometime today because there's only like a handful of people that are signed up right now for it.
It's been up for a couple of days. The reason there's nobody signed up yet is because Acuna hasn't made a post on the Discord yet.
Oh, gotcha. Well,
and then he'll do that and tag at Minnesota, and that's when everyone starts like, oh shit, I better go sign up.
Yeah, I just haven't looked at it in a couple of days because I just know December is just basically completely dead at this point.
Yeah. December, like I said, we have the all night long free play at Kraken Hits 5 to 1 a.m. New Year's Eve. We have our normal practice at Kraken Hits this Wednesday from let's call it around 8:30 to midnight. And then I don't know if Kraken's even open on Christmas Eve. I'm going to be out of town during that time, so if anyone wants to practice that night, I guess talk to Sam and see what the situation is, because I don't even know if they're going to be open or not. Now, real quick, Cake, I will make this announcement now. Well, we touched on the 2 events that are fully planned for January. There are going to be other events. So my event on the 3rd, we've already kind of talked about. Akuna's event on the 24th, we've kind of already talked about. I am also going to have an event on the 31st. I have not nailed down if it's going to be ranked or unranked yet, or exactly what that's going to be, but I will be having an event on Saturday, January 31st. The other thing to note, and that'll be at Kraken Hits as well, the other thing to note is that the 10th and the 24th, there will also be events at Kraken Hits. Those 2 events will be hosted by Sam, and I do not know what he's going to do with those yet, as far as ranked or unranked or limited or whatever the situation is. But so the 3rd, we have an event. The 10th, we have an event. The 24th, we'll have 2 events. And then the 31st, we'll have an event. There are no events on the 17th this month. The 17th is apparently a big Lorcana pre-release, and I think that's happening at Dreamers. It's happening at Kraken. Just going to be too many people to accommodate us that day. So
yeah, fair enough. So basically, every weekend besides one, fully packed full of Beyblades, and especially the 24th. So hopefully Sam and Akuna can kind of work on.
They're already on the same page.
Fantastic.
Akuna set it up. 10 a.m. doors, 11 a.m. start, and Sam, and this is something I should probably mention too. Sam will now be moving to the same schedule going forward that I'm on. So all events at Kraken Hits will now start at 5 p.m.
Love it.
Outside of it's a very special event. I think we have a guest organizer coming in. I think Gingerbeard's running something in March or April. That might start at like 3 or something. But in general, all the normal events you'll come to expect from Sam and I will all be starting 4 p.m. doors, 5 p.m. event start. That'll be the way going forward.
This is the way.
Fantastic. Also, just one quick thing before we kind of hit the doors. Next week there will not be an episode because holidays. Vile and I are going to be out of town, so we're just gonna kind of take the time for families and everything. So there will not be an episode next week. Is there any final things that we want to quick or just want to send it out?
I just want to say thank you to Gunny T for sending in all these questions so we could kind of touch on this episode. Thank you to Wacko for joining us today. Again, great finish this weekend. You really how do you say? I don't know. You set the standard. Let's say it like that. You set the standard.
You absolutely killed it.
And
thank you.
I also just want to thank Akuna for putting on a great state championship event, and really just a shout out to all the bladers that attended and brought their very best and showed up and showed out this past weekend. It was great seeing everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Wacko, was there any kind of last sending off or socials to send out to people, or what's up?
I don't got any socials. Nope, I got nothing. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you coming out. Chad, you good?
Hey, I mean, there's only one last thing for us to mention. Hey, with the holidays coming up, don't forget to use code SPITZONE, people. Come on. Nothing says you love your kids more like buying them a $500 Beyblade set for the Infinity Stadium.
Yeah, light up your child's face this holiday season with the gift of Beyblade.
Oh,
yeah.
Especially using the code SPITZONE right at checkout. All right, guys. So much love for all you guys for checking out this episode today. Anywhere that you guys can find this. Much love for all you guys and showing all the love and the support that you guys have been showing us these past 16 episodes. So we do truly appreciate it.
16.
Dude, and we're going strong still. We're going so strong.
Round of applause to us, honestly.
Oh my
We have
God,
been
round
doing
of applause
No.
to us.
No,
Anyway.
hear me out on this one. Round of applause to us because we've been bringing quality content for 16 straight episodes. Not even One Punch Man season 3 can do that.
No, they can.
I can imagine if this was a Thanksgiving episode, Chad would have said he's thankful for himself. That's what I would have. That's what I'm hearing right now.
No, I'm thankful for the money that I have to allow me to buy the Beyblades that I used to destroy everyone.
Chad, you have not been destroying people lately. You're gonna need to work on that, brother.
That's the joke.
All right. Anyways, guys. So if you guys have not done yet, so please like and follow the podcast on any of the streaming services. Comment any other tips that you guys have for any newer players that we have not touched on, or anything else that newer bladers should have any sort of information about. Put those up in the comments. I do read every single comment. But without further ado, hopefully you guys do have a great and safe holiday next week, whatever you guys celebrate. So guys, until next time, so long, stay safe out there, have a great and awesome rest of your day. Take care. Much love.